whatever. And I don't even know what the other one is. I don't care.
But shit, even still, like with the Falcons, like they tell you back in the day, like they'll have like certain teams, playing, Thursday night, Monday night, Sunday night, and like they don't amount to nothing
Yep.
coming in the season. But we on, man. So it's a great day, sports world. What's up to all the sports lovers, the haters, the addicts, and the fanatics? This is Larry Patterson for GT365. That's Game Time 365 Sports right here on the GTSN. That's the Game Time Sports Network. Right here, you're looking at the schedule release 25. We're running down the schedule from last night. It was revealed. It was kind of like revealed through the whole week. But me and my man Amon here, we're gonna run this thing down. Amon, how you doing today, brother?
Man, I'm doing good, man. Tired. And we were supposed to get to this last night, but when you two working adults out here, man, you gotta get it in when you can. So, man, we got a little break tonight, and yeah, we're gonna run through the schedule and give our opinions about some of these teams. They got primetime games, how many primetime games, what's your best matchup, what storylines you're looking forward to, man. So, yeah, man, it's gonna be an interesting conversation here for the next hour and a half or so.
All right, so let's jump right into it. So week one, on the Thursday night, everybody already knows you got the Cowboys, the Eagles. Some of the people that know sports like me and they were kind of like we were more of expecting another opponent for the Eagles, maybe the Chiefs, maybe the Commanders, because the Commanders and the Eagles had some good matchups last year. But this matchup right here with the Cowboys, I think is fitting. Plus, it brings the ratings, of course. But I think it's more fitting because of some of the stuff that the Cowboys did in the offseason. The Eagles, they stayed doing, transactions and stuff during the offseason too. So I'm going to ask you real quick, like, how you feel about the Cowboys and the Eagles matchup starting out the first game of the season?
I mean, I'm a resident Cowboy hater over here. Everybody know that. I mean, it's on brand. I mean, I expect this, NFL to put their money makers, on TV first. I would have loved for it to be Kansas City versus Philly to get that rematch, but I understand for sure, why they want to do Cowboys, Eagles, Jerry Jones, you know, the star, Jalen Hurts, Saquon, star power, division game out the gate. So it's not gonna be an easy game. It's gonna be a hard fought game. And it's a celebration of the Eagles for doing something that few teams haven't done, is to dominate the Chiefs when it mattered the most. But yeah, man, it's gonna be an interesting game with Pickens coming over, Saquon getting a new deal, Jalen Hurts proved everybody wrong, that he couldn't get it done. Yeah, man, the lights gonna be bright. All eyes gonna be on, week one Thursday night, NBC. Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth, and it's gonna be a good way to kick off the season. So I'm looking forward to the matchup. I'm looking forward to see the measuring sticks for the Cowboys, how they measure up against the Eagles.
One thing I do like about this is that the Cowboys have to watch the Eagles raise a banner. It's something that the Cowboys haven't done in 30 years or so, close to 30 years. They might as well say 30 years.
40 years. We were mid 30s, so about 40. Yeah, you can say 30.
So what better way to stick it to them than seeing a division rival raise up a banner in their own stadium and you get to watch. So you have the Cowboys, Eagles on the Thursday night. It should be exciting. On that Friday, you got the Chiefs and the Chargers opening up in division play, but they are in Sao Paulo. They're in Brazil. So what a way to open up the division with, Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes. I'm pretty sure that's on the Prime. No, that's on YouTube. So I actually like that.
Yeah, I think that game right there is a YouTube exclusive. I don't know how. Yeah, YouTube. Not I don't know if it's YouTube or YouTube TV. I could be wrong, but if it's on YouTube, that's a W. If it's YouTube TV, you have to pay for that subscription, and that could be a bummer, whatever the case may be. But yeah, man, if it's on YouTube, the YouTube's free for everybody. I think that's a W for the league, and could be something they could be exploring potentially down the road. Having games on different platforms, and but yeah, I'm looking forward to year two of Harbaugh, getting some more of his players in his system. They made it to the playoffs last year. Of course, they didn't, get to the ultimate destination. Then you got the Kansas City Chiefs that are coming back. Could this be Kelsey's last year? Could this be Andy Reid's last year? Mahomes. He's gonna do what he do. I like that they got some interior help on the defensive side of the ball in the draft, and got a left tackle potential in Josh Simons. But we're gonna find out the gate if he's healthy. Is he the one, the heir apparent to Eric Fisher in that lineage of tackles that the Chiefs have able to get out here in the last past decade or so? So yeah, man, this AFC division rivalry, AFC West rivalry. It's gonna be hard. No, it's gonna be hard fought. I can expect a whole lot of run game from the Chargers. Yeah, and I know for us, my team, Broncos and Raiders, to speak, we're going to be paying close attention to this matchup here, definitely because I think we play this team week 7. I think we got the Chargers and Chiefs in like the next couple weeks after that. So I'm gonna be paying close attention, probably more than the Cowboys and Eagles on Thursday night. But yeah, man, this probably one I'm circling for week 1 that I'm most interested in going forward.
And when we get to these to the week 1 rundown, me and you will be previewing games and going over games later on this year. So that's going to be one of the good games that we're going to be talking about that week. And very interested to see how Amari and Hampton, how that run attack with Amari and Hampton, Najee Harris, how they attack the Chiefs defensive line. Um, but what a way to go out, starting out Justin Herbert. Some can argue probably the nearest competition that Patrick Mahomes has had, even though the Raiders have had some wins in there. The Broncos recently had some wins in there. But the Chargers always seem to be on their heels. Plus, they had a little bit more playoff success. So, well, not success, but let's say appearances. They've been in there.
Yep.
But we'll see what happens with that. It sucks that it's not on American soil, but hey, get it how you get it. Going to Sunday, September 7th with the 1 o'clock games, and you tell me which game I'm gonna list them, and you tell me which one stands out to you. At 1 o'clock, you got Tampa Bay taking on Atlanta, Pittsburgh, and the Jets. I feel like maybe in the NFL and Pittsburgh are not telling us something that we don't know yet. Is Aaron Rodgers signed, or is he going to be signed to him? Like, what's the deal here? But I thought that was crazy to start that out early in the season. Then you go Dolphins and Colts, Jaguars hosting the Panthers, the Giants and the Commanders. That's a huge one. You got the Cardinals at the Saints, Bengals at the Browns, and your team, the Raiders, at the Patriots. I already know you gonna have that circle, but out of the 1 o'clock games, which one do you like the most?
Well, of course, I'm gonna say, my mob. I'm gonna have them circle, but believe it or not, that's not the game that I'm most interested in looking forward to. Is actually that Cincinnati and Cleveland game. Couple reasons. Who's gonna be? Is Shador gonna be QB1? Dylan Gary gonna be QB1. Where does Flacco stand? Are they keeping 4 quarterbacks? Is Kenny Pickett gonna be on the move? You know, during camp. Um, yeah, that's one storyline that I'm looking forward to. And also on the other end, Bengal side, hey, you got the Ferrari and Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins. But on the contrary, is Trey Hendrickson there? Has he been traded? Has he got a new contract? Because in the news he's been wanting a new deal and saying by hey, Cincinnati's his home. So I'm
I
definitely
mean,
looking
it's very frustrated too.
very frustrated, and I rightfully so. I get it. The Browns they cheat. I mean, the Mike Brown. I mean, the owners they're cheating. They worse than me. But I'm definitely interested in that game. That 1 o'clock game is going. I'm gonna circle that one. Like I said, I'm gonna circle the Raiders. Hey, Pete Carroll coming out, new regime, Spat Tech, Tom Brady at the helm, and you got you know the Raiders going against Josh McDaniels as the OC. So that's a little bad blood there. So I'm going to see how the Raiders come out, coming to the West Coast, playing on East Coast. Sorry, playing a 1 o'clock game. That never really works out in our favor. Me being a Raiders fan, I know 1 o'clock games like the worst. So I'm going to see how that shakes out, and also I want to see Jaden Daniels, pick up from where he left off. Year one, is there a slump? He's improving with new weapons with Debo, and still got Zach Ertz and Terry McLaurin, which looking for a new contract as well. And of course, the Giants with Russ, Jameis, Dart, um, with the Carter, the number one pick from a few weeks ago. And then Cam Ward going into Denver, which is going to be a tough one. You go into Mile High, Cam Ward, week one starter. And you got to see Surtain, Jade Barron, Nick Benito and them boys. That defense is going to be there regardless. And, of course, you got your usuals, Baltimore. And well, that's a late game, but you said 1 o'clock. But, I'm going on. But, yeah, so those are just a couple of games I'm looking forward to week one that I'm excited about.
One of the matchups that I'm looking forward to is the Buccaneers and the Falcons because the Buccaneers been going to the playoffs 2 years straight, and I think the Buccaneers and the Falcons had like this, they both of them were trying to get to the playoffs. The NFC South was a bad division, so I think up to a certain point, Atlanta, I think might have been to like the last week of the season, like Atlanta was right there. So
Mm-hmm.
get to continue that rivalry. Michael Penix Jr. comes in as the starter, or hopefully he'll be the starter. We'll see how training camp, preseason, all that happens. But I feel like that is going to be a very interesting matchup. I feel with the Panthers, Bryce Young, how is he going to look in his third season? Is he going to improve off of what last season ending last season, he ended on a high note. Is he going to carry that over to this season coming up? And plus, with Trevor Lawrence, getting a new weapon in Travis Hunter, the battle of the cats. We'll see how that goes. I agree with you with the Giants and the Commanders. That should be a very interesting matchup right there. Continuing with that rivalry over there. For some reason, I feel like Jackson Dart is going to be starting for the Giants come week one. It's just my prediction. Um, then you go down to the Raiders. The Raiders and the Patriots, very interesting. We get to see what Drake May, see what he gets to look like with some new offensive weapons. And, New England added some defensive guys over there as well as the Raiders adding some guys over there. Max Crosby going into another season. And Ashton Genty, how does he look against this Patriots defense? Just so many good matchups. And then when you go to the 4 o'clock matchups, you got as you mentioned, Cam Ward going to Denver. Like, what a tough way to start out your NFL career than going into the Mile High City, and then you having Patrick Surtain on one side, Jade Barrett on the other side, and you got all these guys on the defense, and then Mile High thin air. Like, pray for my guy. I feel like I feel like he'll be all right though. Going into the other 4 o'clock games, you got 49ers, Seahawks, 405, Lions and Packers at 425, Texans and the Rams. That should be a very interesting one with CJ Stroud and Matthew Stafford going against each other. Also at 425. And then the Sunday night game, you cap it off with Ravens and Bills, the rematch of the playoff game. And then on the Monday night, you got a Vikings and Bears matchup. I ain't really too thrilled about the Monday night matchup, but all these other games, as long as you got football on, I mean, I'm gonna watch it regardless. But Uh, that caps the week one, and I think that's a pretty good schedule right there.
Yeah, man. I think it's like you said, storylines galore. It's gonna be a banger week one. Every team comes in with hope week one. Everybody get excited week one, but week one is gonna be like, okay, we're getting our foot in the door. Let's get our foot. Let's see where we at. We went through camp, man, but it's gonna ramp up. It's gonna get serious here week 2, 3, and 4. That's when you really find the out about your football team.
Going into week two, you got a spicy matchup between the Commanders and the Packers on Amazon Prime. That's what I'm saying, man. Like Jay Daniels, Jordan Love, like oh man. Uh, Also, and then you go into the 1 o'clock games. You got Rams and Titans, and then Cam Ward's got to see that Rams defense. Um, and then you got Seahawks, Steelers, DK Metcalf facing against his former team. We'll see if they have a quarterback by then. uh,
Oh,
hopefully, Bills, Jets. You got the Bears and the Lions facing off. That should be interesting. Let's see what the Bears look like this year. Maybe this rivalry could be, highlighted with some high scoring games, man, instead of more NFC North football. You got Giants, Cowboys. Uh, that's actually I want to say that's the game of the week, America's game of the week. I want to say.
I don't know,
No,
man.
no, 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 it's not. It's week three. It's week three. We'll touch on that when we get there. But then you got Giants, Cowboys, you got Browns and the Ravens, 49ers and the Saints, Patriots, Dolphins, Jaguars and Bengals. That should be spicy.
Mm.
In the 405 slot, you got Broncos and Colts. Remember the Colts came to Denver last year. Remember Jonathan Taylor had the run in the end zone and he let the ball go right before he crossed the pylon.
Yeah, I remember that.
The Colts were en route to they were that was before halftime, so the Colts were
They were
en
getting a
route
W.
to lead, but that mile high magic, I guess.
That's it.
Uh, then the other 4 or 5 games, you got the Panthers and the Cardinals. So you got the battle of the short quarterbacks and Kyler Murray and Bryce Young. You got the Eagles and the Chiefs in the 425 slot. That's man, the rematch of the Super Bowl.
Week
And then
2. Oh, Lord.
week two, Falcons and Vikings on Sunday Night Football. And then the Buccaneers and the Texans on Monday Night Football. Oh, also you got the Chargers and the Raiders.
Yeah, I
So,
think week 2 is a double hitter, I believe. And that's the only thing I hate about week 2 is like if you a West Coast team, you get that 10 o'clock game off real. That's our second primetime game, by the way. Jesus Christ.
bro, you know, 10 o'clock you gonna be in the bed.
Well, I'm gonna be in the bed at 9. In the bed at 9, we cook.
so that's week two. You got any thoughts on any of these matchups here?
Yeah, Commanders Packers, that's a banger. You starting off 9-11, so you know, everybody's gonna be emotionally tied. 9/11 is a big day in American history. So I expect some kind of tribute, you know, anniversary of 9/11. So that's gonna be a special game. Cowboys Giants, like you said, that's always gonna division rival. No matter how bad the Cowboys are, how bad the Giants are, that's gonna be a close one. Looking down the schedule here, I like the Bills Jets at 1 o'clock. I think Justin Fields the Jets got 2 home games back to back, if I'm not mistaken. So that's a good setup for them.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a great setup. Yep, they got the Eagles and Bills back to back at home. Um, yeah, let me keep scrolling down here a little bit. Bills, Jets, Patriots, Dolphins is always a tough one. Jaguars, Bengals.
mm,
Okay, Jamal. Okay, Travis Hunter. Yeah, you got one. You say you want to play 2 ways. Okay.
that's huge.
Yeah, you Uno and Higgins. You're gonna be on Uno all game. This might be your welcome to the NFL moment right here. This just might be it. 49ers, Saints, whatever. I mean, they're gonna have paper bags on their head down there in New Orleans anyway. So that game might be on Tubi for real by the time we get to by the time we get to week 2. No disrespect to the Saints fans out there, man. That game might be on Tubi. Um,
Hey man, Tyler Chuck could be showing somebody some different stuff here, man. I don't
he
know.
might be. He might be. Then you got the Browns, Ravens. Of course, that's always entertaining. AFC North. Bears, Lions. Welcome back to Detroit. Whatever the coach name. I can't think of his name right now.
Ben Johnson.
Welcome back, Ben Johnson. Let me see if you can recreate that magic like you had in Detroit for the last past couple of years. So you going back to Detroit, so you know Detroit's gonna be amped up, pumped up. Aiden Hutchinson potentially be back. You know, defense gonna be rowdy. Everybody gonna be healthy. Ben Johnson coming in. Hey, I want to prove you wrong. You should have never left us, but we know that was inevitable. He's gonna leave, get a job anyway. Um, Broncos, Colts. Okay, Daniel Jones could be throwing the ball to Jade Barron and Patrick Surtain, so there ain't nothing to talk about. Um, Eagles, Chiefs, 425. It's probably America's game, but I don't know. Chiefs at home, so that might be a CB. That might be a 425 CBS game. I'm interested to
No.
see what that. I don't know if Fox got that or CBS got that.
Yeah, Fox got that.
Yeah, Fox got that. So Brady
Yeah.
gonna be on the call. Him and can't think of his name, Joe Buck, and then Falcons, Vikings. Okay, you're gonna have nothing excites me about that. The Texans, Buccaneers, that might excite me a little bit. Baker Mayfield with Mike Evans, Emeka Ibuka, Tez Johnson, Kadar going against that great secondary. CJ Stroud with his rebuilt offensive line. He got all the toxic stuff out the locker room. So I mean, we can see how he fared in there in Houston, and then you got Raiders, Chargers. I expect this game to be Gentry to have 40 carries, Hampton to have 40 carries. The score will be 3-0. Somebody kick a field goal at the last minute to win the game. Flop knocker. So yeah, man, week two got some bangers in there, man. Chiefs, Eagles, Jets, Bills, Seahawks, Steelers, Cowboys, Giants, Packers, Commanders. Week 2 shaping up real good as well. What you think about it?
Yeah, you got some heavyweight matchups in there. Especially like you said, Bills, Jets. Um, it just the start of week 3 with the Commanders and the Packers, like that's already box office. The Bears and the Lions, I feel like it's going to be box office. The Browns and the Ravens, like especially if Shador is playing, like the division rivals. So like the Browns are always going to play the Ravens tough. The Patriots are always going to play the Dolphins tough, and vice versa. The game that I'm really looking at right there is what you said earlier with Jacksonville and Cincinnati. How will Travis Hunter, how will he look in offensively and defensively? Um, and then the Eagles and the Chiefs, like definitely looking forward to that. I mean, yeah, like Buccaneers, Texans, yeah, it's shaping up to be really good. Ready to move on to week 3?
Yeah.
All right, so week 3, you got Thursday night, Dolphins and Bills. Who knows if Tua will be around? Uh, Coming to the 1 o'clock games, you got the Colts and the Titans. So the Colts and Titans open up AFC South play. Steelers and the Patriots, Jets and the Buccaneers, Raiders and the Commanders. And that's gonna be a tough one. You got the Rams and the Eagles. And I got my thoughts about this one later on. You got Rams and the Eagles, rematch of the divisional round playoff matchup that they had in the snow. And then you got Falcons, Panthers, Bengals, and Vikings. Let's see if JJ McCarthy's playing. Texans and the Jaguars should be very spicy with CJ Stroud and Trevor Lawrence there. You got the Packers and the Browns. Those are your 1 o'clock games. The 4 o'clock games, you got Broncos and Chargers. So we get to see the Chargers early this year. They swept us last year. We get to start that off pretty early, and then you go down Saints, Seahawks. You got the Cardinals and 49ers. The Cowboys and the Bears, which I think is the America's game of the week, and we know why. We know why Dallas is America's team. But I'm looking at this now. Unless the Bears are going to be really freaking good, or they just catering to the Cowboys, because how do you have the America's game of the week over that as the America's game of the week over the Rams and the Eagles? It just seems more fitting for the Rams and the Eagles. Then Sunday night football, you got Chiefs and Giants, and Monday night football, you got Lions and Ravens, which should be very, very spicy.
Yeah, man. I'm looking at it right now, and I was gonna, man. You got the Chiefs and Giants on Sunday Night Football, and the Giants at home. That's nasty business. That's nasty. I don't care how you cut it. Sorry, Giants fans out there. That's nasty. For y'all to have a Sunday night home game, I get it, man. It's Mahomes. You want to get him on there many times as you can, but you could have put somebody else besides the Giants on here as an opponent, and you gonna have the
Hey,
Giants at home.
Abdul Carter.
Yeah, I understand. I understand that, man. I get it, man. Somebody got to play him, but yeah, let's just move on. Giants over, like, all right. Then you got the Lions Ravens. That's gonna be a good one. Cowboys Bears. We know why. They are on there. Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson, Jerry Jones, Brian Schottenheimer, the whole gang. Dak. You know, Seahawks Saints. As I repeat, every time we talk about the Saints on here, for the schedule, we just gonna skip over that because we know that whole organization is a joke. Broncos Chargers 405. I'm definitely gonna be tuning into that one for sure. You get to see, okay, Herbie. Let me see what you got against his defense. Early is in LA, so I expect that to be a good one. Steelers Patriots could be low key spicy. Eagles Rams, a rematch of the divisional from last year. That's gonna be a good one for sure because they're gonna bring up if Stafford could got away from Jalen Carter, they could be playing Super Bowl. It's gonna come up, but definitely looking forward to that one.
And
Commanders.
not only that, but you got Devontae Adams there now, Puka the Cool, like, oh,
Forgot all about Tay. Ooh. Then you got Commanders and Raiders. September 21st. I might be in the building for that one. Might not. It all depends on how things shake out. If we lose the first two, I ain't going. I ain't even going. I'm tell you right now. Texans, Jaguars. You know, okay. Travis Hunter. Nico Collins. Them two rookies out of Iowa State they drafted. You're gonna have your hands full in that soft with them receivers. Bengals, Vikings, JJ. Let's see how he do. Um, 3 weeks as a starter, pray stay healthy, and then the Bills and Dolphins, like you say, hey, can Buffalo, state their claim and state their dominance over this division by getting a convincing win over the Dolphins at home. So week 2 is not as spicy. I mean, week 3 is not as spicy as the first 2 weeks. There's some good matchups in my opinion. Some good divisional matchups, some good out of division matchups. But for the most part, yeah, man, I think this is where uh, teams start settling down and find out who they really are as a team, and they're going to make adjustments going forward. The last game of the first quarter of the season.
Travis Hunter facing off in week 1 against maybe Tech, maybe Adam Thielen. Week 2, you see the Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, somebody, and then week 3, Nico Collins.
Nico Collins, John Mechie,
Ooh.
Ohio State. Yeah, man. Yeah, he can get his way to the NFL on it real quick.
Yeah. Going on to, you got anything else for week 3?
Nah, I'm good.
Week 4, you got the Seahawks and the Cardinals kicking off with Thursday night football. And then week 4 is also the first week for the international series. So they're going to be in Dublin, Ireland. At 9:30, you got the Vikings and the Steelers. Then at your 1 o'clock games, you got the Saints, Bills, Titans, Texans, Browns and the Lions. You got Commanders and Falcons, Eagles and Buccaneers, Panthers and the Patriots, Chargers and the Giants, Jaguars and the 49ers, Colts, Rams. This is going to your 4 o'clock. Uh, Bears and the Raiders. You got the Ravens and the Chiefs. We already know what slot they're gonna be in.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the Sunday night football game between the Packers and the Cowboys. That's history there. So I'm not mad at that. And then you got another doubleheader on Monday night with the Jets and the Dolphins rivalry. And then you got the Bengals and the Broncos. Remember the Bengals and the Broncos faced off in week 17 last year. Close matchup where Joe Burrow won. And now they get to come to Denver. So, of course, the game of the week is going to be the Ravens and the Chiefs.
Yeah, that's got Tony Romo written all over. Tony
Oh,
Romo, Jim Nance written all over. You can pencil that one in.
on CBS too. So,
Absolutely.
uh, and then the other. I mean, it's not too much spiciness going unless you're looking at the Eagles and the Buccaneers. But I mean, not too much spicy.
But I will say though, I will say about that matchup, the Buccaneers always have the Eagles number. I don't
Oh
care
yeah,
where it is. Always like in the playoffs a couple years ago, that year that Jalen Hurts got introduced to the like what to you in the playoffs now, they beat them. So they always play each other pretty good. So I'm excited about that one for sure. That's one that I want to step in and say, hey, if there's one game that week I will be circling, it's that
and Jalen Hurts has faced Tampa Bay twice in the playoffs. I want to say his first year and then the year before last year.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Um, but other than the Chargers and Giants, I mean, I know we joke about the Giants, but I mean, good pass rush there. Potential of a good pass rush. And it all depends on who the quarterback is going to be there. We should find out what that's going to look like. But other than that, Packers Cowboys should be box office. An hour from kickoff at 9 o'clock, I'll probably be out. So but the Bengals and the Broncos on Monday Night Football should be a pretty good one. We'll see if Denver can get some revenge on Joe Burrow.
Yeah, man. I'm looking at it now. The international series is always a W. When you wake up in the morning on a Sunday, football be on in 30 minutes or so. Depends on what time you wake up. I'm an early bird, so it'd be like 2 hours for me. That's always a W. Um, Looking down this week 3, Chiefs, Ravens, Bears, Raiders. Okay. Bears, Raiders. That really don't excite me. Bengals, Broncos, that double hitter. See, the double hit of Monday night, one's going to be on ESPN, and one's probably going to be on ABC. So they're probably going to you probably get the dual screen if you got YouTube TV or something like that. You probably get to watch both. So those would be two good matchups. And then Packers, Cowboys got history there, but ain't nothing else looking too good. Bill Saints, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing else too exciting. Nah, man. Week 4 stuff for like maybe 2 games. Look kind of shaky here. So yeah, week 4 is kind of looking depressing. If you some teams might be out of it by then. It might be 0-3. You don't even care. But yeah, week 4 looking kind of iffy, at best. So
And we talked about Travis Hunter. And, he'll be going against the 49ers. So we'll see if the 49ers can add a little turnaround. They had a bad season last year. We'll see if Brock Purdy can get those boys on the up and up. So
yeah. And by the way, Chad, when we can talk about Travis Hunter and his lineup of teams he got to play and receive. We're not picking on him. We just want to know how this storyline is going to shake up. Is he going to be able to do offense and defense? That's something he could be able to sustain over 3 or 4 game stretch here. Like I said, a couple episodes ago, playing like 2 seasons, playing on both sides of the ball. So that's something, I'm gonna be closely watching, and we are gonna be closely watching. It's not picking on Travis Hunter. You got these big dogs you gotta face, but it's more of a line of, hey, can you sustain this? Week 4, you should have your win. You should know, and that coaching staff should know, the office should know he can do this. So that's what I'm looking forward to the most. But yeah, man, he ain't got no slouches. Week 1, 2, and 3, going up against them for sure. So
Absolutely not. And then, like, it's good that we're closely watching it because it's something that hasn't been done in a while. So it's always box office when it comes to something like that to see if he can actually sustain it. So
yep.
um, going to week 5, kicking off Thursday night football with the 49ers and the Rams. Uh, so how week 4 on Thursday night football you got Seahawks and Cardinals, and then week 5 you got 49ers and Rams. I don't know what they were
NFC West back to back.
doing. Okay. So and then okay, Sunday starting off, got another 9:30 game. You got Vikings and the Browns. That game right there, I'm gonna be honest. That would be a game that you know it's on, but you ain't really tuning until like 9:30, till like halftime, to after halftime. That's when you start to watch it.
Yeah, I'm
But
sitting there like, you know what I mean, especially if the Browns are cheeks and the Vikings, JJ don't start off hot. I'm gonna be like, yo, anybody trying to go to brunch or something? Because I ain't got time. Like I'm already gonna be up. Let's go to IHOP or something, get some breakfast or something. But yeah, man, I ain't. You're a Browns fan and you gotta go overseas too. That's a tough pill to swallow, bro.
it just got 6-3 going into the fourth quarter written all over it.
Mm.
That's not that's not good football to watch.
That's not good.
Moving on at 1 o'clock, you got the Cowboys and the Jets. Okay, you got the Texans and Ravens. But didn't they play in the playoffs last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Last year or year before last, because CJ was out there shaking. It was cold out that bad boy.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Last year, or year before last.
I know they played in like the year before last. I'm not sure if it was last year.
So 1 year, I think either last year I think the Texans played the Chiefs last year in the playoffs, and the year before that they played
That's
the
right.
Ravens.
That's right. That's right. So you got Texas Ravens. That's a nice one. You got the Giants and the Saints. The Raiders. That one got low score. Bet the under on that one. You got the Raiders and the Colts. You got the Dolphins and the Panthers. So that's a short. Oh, you got the Broncos and Philly. Oh my God.
Mm,
Oh,
mm.
oh no. So you got Broncos and Philly. Hopefully we'll be 4-0 by then.
Right on, right on.
And then that concludes. So you got a short 1 o'clock. You got a short week of 1 o'clock games. And then after that, 4 or 5 games. You got Buccaneers, Seahawks, Titans, and the Cardinals. You got Commanders and Chargers. That should be very juicy. And then you got the Lions and the Bengals. That's another one that should be really juicy. Which one? Which one gets the TV slot? I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the Lions and the Bengals. And at 8:20, how the Patriots get a Sunday night football game?
That's what I be saying, bro.
And then Monday night, you conclude with the Chiefs and the Jaguars, which it could be a very spicy one too. Teams on bye week: the Falcons, the Bears, the Packers, and the Steelers. What's your thoughts on week 5?
Going right to going right back up top to the NFC West, Rams 49ers. Yeah, man. I mean, has Purdy got paid yet? You know, um, Kittle got his bag. Brandon Ayuk division game. He's gonna be fully healthy. What are what are you gonna how are you gonna act when that you don't have Debo anymore? Jets Cowboys. How the Cowboys put a win streak together? They're going against a good defense, and they're coached by Aaron Glenn, so this is gonna be a tougher matchup than people think on paper.
Mm-hmm.
Giants Saints. That's gonna be on Tuesday. Um, Broncos Eagles 1 o'clock. I mean that's tough. That's tough sledding coming over from from the West play a 1 o'clock game versus Philly. You know they're gonna be lit. You know Philly's gonna be lit.
Oh man.
Yeah, Texans Ravens. That's a decent one right there. I like that one. Texans coming on and play Ravens 1 o'clock. And then Lions Bengals. That's gonna be a decent one. I think that's gonna probably be a CBS game. Tony Romo and them might be on the call. No, well I take that back. Commanders Chargers. That's gonna be a Fox game, of course. Um, and then yeah, that's all I see about week 5. Yeah, week 5. I mean, the steam's starting to roll off in there. So
Yeah.
I ain't excited.
Uh,
Week 1 through 4.
the Lions and the Bengals game should be that's a Fox game, so you know that's America's game of the week. That should be
Oh, that's a Fox game.
yeah.
Oh wow. So what is the Bengals and I mean not the Bengals, but the Commanders and Chargers? That's CBS. Chargers at home, so it should be CBS.
That's a Fox game too. Well, you
Oh,
know, around here it'll be
Commanders.
Commanders, and
Yeah,
yeah.
of
So,
course.
but you know, the America's game of the week. Well, I guess we could go with the Buffalo Wild Wings and see that's on too. So,
You ain't lying.
but yeah, Buffalo on Sunday Night Football playing against a division rival. Um, yeah, I mean, could have picked somebody better in that slot. If anything, you could have had the Lions and the Bengals in the Sunday Night Football slot, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that concludes week 5. You got any more thoughts on that?
Nah, week 5 is getting generic and a little flat. Uh, yeah, man. Just bye week should be able to kick in there here soon.
Yeah, I think that was the first week 4 bye weeks. You had 4 teams on bye weeks. Moving on to week 6, you got 2 teams on bye weeks with the Houston Texans and the Minnesota Vikings. Both teams being on bye weeks. And then starting off Thursday night, you got Eagles Giants. Saquon goes back to New York.
He can get his flowers. He definitely get. When he come out that tunnel, he can definitely get his flowers because there's nothing that he did. It was management and that decision they made. So I'm looking forward to that matchup. He might run for 300 on there. Who knows?
At 9:30, you got Broncos and Jets. So we got to go all the way across the pond to play Justin Fields. And Justin Fields played us pretty well, like his first time when he was at the the Bears. And he played it well against us last year too. It was a very close matchup, but we get to see Justin Fields again. And then at 1 o'clock games, you got Cardinals, Colts, Rams, and the Ravens. Woo!
Rams and who?
Ravens.
Oh, okay. Jeez. Okay.
You got Browns and Steelers.
Oh, that's a banger. The Rams and Ravens? Oh.
Yeah. You got Browns and Steelers, which low-key, if Shador is starting, this will be like that one of those games. It's like, hey, you could have picked me. You could have picked me, but you didn't.
So get back.
Look, get back. You got the 49ers and the Buccaneers. So the 49ers come all the way on the East Coast. The Seahawks and the Jaguars. You got the Chargers and the Dolphins. Cowboys and Panthers. All at 1 o'clock. At 4:05, you got Titans, Raiders. Why does it seem like Titans always playing at 4 in the 4:05 slot?
Did them dirty.
And then you got 4:25. You got Patriots, Saints. You got the Bengals and the Packers. And I believe that's a CBS game.
Yeah, so answer Romo will be on that call.
Oh yeah, which that should be a very spicy game right there. Sunday Night Football. You got the Lions and the Chiefs. And then Monday night, you got another doubleheader with the Bills and the Falcons come on at 7:15. And then you got the Bears and the Commanders at 8:15.
Yeah, man. I'm looking at it now and I'm seeing. I know we're getting a little too far ahead of myself. But any Falcons fans, if y'all end up looking at this, how y'all get 5 primetime games?
How?
I'm trying to figure out what's the appeal with Atlanta. I don't know. Is it Penix? Is it? I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of strange. Raven, like you said earlier, Ravens, Rams. That's gonna be a banger. Nothing else on this schedule excites me, to be honest with you. Nothing. Ravens, Ravens, Rams to me that does it. Nothing else. Week 6 even catches my eye, even down to Bengals, Packers. That's okay. Lions, Chiefs. They've been there and done that. So Bills, Falcons. Yeah, Rams, Ravens. That's the only one I'm looking forward to that week for sure.
Yeah, pretty short list of interesting games here, but we could be wrong.
Could be some bangers in there. When we look at
Could
the
be.
highlights at 8 o'clock, sitting there looking stupid. Somebody don't nobody timestamp this and come back 4 months later. Y'all said week 6 was trash. Don't nobody timestamp this.
Moving on to week 7. With Thursday night, you got the Steelers and the Bengals. It does not excite me too much because you don't know who the quarterback is. Unless Will Howard tears it up in camp, it just becomes like the ultimate pro. I don't know. But that kicks off Thursday night football, and then you got another 9:30 game day in London. You got the Rams and the Jaguars, which should be low key kind of fun. Then you got the Titans and you got the Titans hosting the Patriots at 1 o'clock. You got the Saints and the Bears, the Dolphins and the Browns, Panthers and Jets, Eagles and the Vikings at 1 o'clock. You also got the Raiders and Chiefs at 1 o'clock. In the 4:05 slot, you got the Giants at Denver. So Denver gets to see that pass rush. And then you got the Colts, Chargers. You got the Commanders and the Cowboys meeting up for the first time. You got the Packers and the Cardinals. And at 8:20, you got the Falcons, who's on prime time again against the 49ers on Sunday Night Football. And then Monday night, you got another doubleheader with the Buccaneers and the Lions and the Texans and the Seahawks at 10.
Man, whoever got the Falcons once again 5 prime time. That's nasty business. Nasty. But it's a couple games, of course. I'm October 19th, 1 o'clock Raiders Chiefs. That's gonna be nasty. Just because the way we went the Arrowhead and lost the way we lost with the bobbles snap off Aiden O'Connell's leg, people felt like that we should have won that game. I felt like we should have won it as well. So that's one I'm looking forward to. Steelers, Bengals. It don't excite you as much, but it excites me because that's one of those games where you just get home after work, cut on Amazon Prime, kick back, and you got a hard hitting AFC North rivalry game on TV that you probably gonna stay up for probably halftime anyway, and get some good football out of those two teams. Mike Tomlin, he always coaches his team well. Joe Burrow, top 3 quarterback in the league in my eyes. So yeah, man, Eagles, Vikings. Nothing really catches my eye this this go around. Washington, Cowboys, whatever. That's gonna always be a big rivalry, big game around these parts of the country. But nothing other than that, man. Nothing really catches my eye that I'm excited about. Week 7. Is this week 7? Week 7? Yeah, week 7.
Yeah, week 7.
Yeah.
That Commanders and Cowboys game could be probably be the game of the week.
Yeah, it's probably be some fights after the game.
Especially amongst the fans, man. Oh, man. Moving on to week 8, you got the Vikings and the Chargers kicking off Thursday Night Football, October 23rd. And then I guess they're done with the London games. because the next game you have is at 1 o'clock. You got the Jets and the Bengals. Should be kind of, yeah, you know. We'll see. We'll see how that one looks. You got the Bills and the Panthers, 49ers, Texans, Giants, and the Eagles facing off again. That's that what they faced. They faced twice in 3 weeks, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then you got the Browns and the Patriots, Bears, Ravens. Depending on how Caleb Williams and that offense looks over there, that could be an interesting matchup as well. You got the Dolphins and the Falcons, Buccaneers, Saints. At 425, you got the Titans and the Colts. You got the Cowboys and the Broncos. So I'm guessing that's what is this on? This is on CBS.
Yeah.
So yeah, Broncos get a TV game. And then 820, you got the Packers and the Steelers, and then on Monday Night Football, you got the Commanders and the Chiefs. With the Cardinals, the Rams, the Lions, the Seahawks, the Jaguars, and the Raiders all on bye week.
Yeah, man. I think this week 8 kind of weak. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I'm kind of weak. Like I said, I'll tune into Cowboys Broncos because that's gonna be a national televised game, and then probably Commanders Chiefs. Yeah, man. Week 8 looking kind of rough for the casual football fan. Because they think about it aesthetically, you gotta look at the Dolphins going into Atlanta. I don't think I've ever seen that type of matchup, like Miami going to Atlanta. That's weird. Like I don't remember. This is probably my first time in my life me ever seeing or hearing of the Dolphins going to an Atlanta. That's crazy. And I know that's not true, but they played in Atlanta before. But it's like, ugh, you really gonna put this on at 1 o'clock,
Yeah,
Miami?
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, you couldn't play nobody else better. But yeah, man, week 8 looking real weak. I know we got like 6 teams on bye, so I mean, storylines create themselves, so something else may come up. Um, Broncos could be on a win streak, whatever the case may be. I mean, if I had to pick one game out of this week that I want to keep my eye on, it's the development of Cam Ward. He's been a starter for half the season now. To see how comfortable he is in the offense. That can't think of the coach name right now. Please forgive me. But
uh, Brian
Brian
Callahan.
Callahan, Brian Callahan, yes. See how comfortable he look in the offense. Um, and then trade deadline should be coming up as well. Who could be on the move? That in the coming weeks. I don't know if the trade deadline is at the end of October or the beginning of November. I can't remember. You have to check me on that. But trade
It's
deadline coming up.
yeah, it's somewhere around there.
Yeah, so who could be on the move? People know if they pretending or contending by that time, and people could be, biased. There go some teams gonna be sellers, just trying to get ready, looking to the next draft or their future for sure. But yeah, week 9, I mean week 8, looking real slim. Like I said, I don't want them. We'll be interested in looking at and peeping in is the Titans to see Cam Ward's development. And yeah, man, that's all I got for week 8 right now.
Quick question for the Colts: is Anthony Richardson starting?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Going on to week 9, you got the starting on Thursday night. You got Ravens and the Dolphins. Um, and I feel like I know the Dolphins still got dogs over there, but I just feel like they being so depleted right now with like the Tyreek drama, and then you got Jalen Ramsey. You still haven't traded him yet. Like I know they still got dogs over there, but
Yeah, he's not even gonna be on their roster probably after June. So
yeah. Oh man, but you starting off with Ravens and Dolphins. They got a little history. Uh, and then you got the Broncos and the Texans. Let me tell you, a couple years ago we played C.J. Stroud in Houston, and he lit us up. It was a close game, but he lit us up. And Denver got to get revenge in this spot right here. So we'll see how that looks. And then you got the 49ers coming all the way over to the East Coast to take on the Giants, Colts, Steelers. Panthers, Packers. You got the Vikings and the Lions squaring off for the first time. You got the Chargers and the Titans, the Falcons and the Patriots, the Bears and the Bengals, and in the 405 slot, you got the Jags and the Raiders. You got the Saints and the Rams, Chiefs and the Bills, who seem to be playing like every year. That's going to be the what is this? A CBS game.
You know
So
it's CBS, yeah. Two
yeah,
AFC teams, so you know it's CBS. That's the standalone 425 game too. So there's nothing else.
you,
Well, you get 2 405 now, but 6 o'clock, you know, that's the main game that everybody's gonna be watching.
you already know Tony Romo got his lips just ready for Patrick Mahomes. Just
Oh God, yeah, gonna be calling plays. Oh my God, you know, crossing all on the screen, marking the screen. It's a blitz, Jim. It's a over, bro. The glaze is crazy.
so, but it's true though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And then conclude with Sunday night, you got the Seahawks and the Commanders. Commanders getting a lot of love here.
yeah, man.
Um,
When you hit on the
yes.
quarterback, that'll do it for you. You know,
Yeah, yeah, you're right about that. And then
I
Monday
wouldn't
Night
know nothing
Football.
about it
Go ahead.
just yet.
Go ahead.
I said I don't know nothing about hitting on a quarterback, a franchise quarterback just yet, but hopefully, you know, once we'll figure that out. You know, 2026, 27. So
Hey, at least you got you a good feeling right now, though.
hey, no complaints from me, bro. Better than what we had today.
And then Monday Night Football, you got the Cardinals and the Cowboys, who always seem to be playing tough matchups. And then on bye weeks, you got Cleveland, you got the Jets, you got the Eagles, you got the Buccaneers. Any thoughts about Week 9?
No thoughts about week 9. Like I say, the Monday night game don't inspire me. Bills, Chiefs, you don't seen it. Playoffs, you don't see regular season. You know, everybody know about the Gabe Davis. You know, had what 3 touchdowns in that game. You don't seen it 13 seconds. So, I mean, you don't seen it all. It's just the pros. I mean, NFL, you got to create narrative. You got to create storylines. You got to get them something to buy into going into that game. And yeah, man, but nothing really excites me about week 10. Week 10? No, week 9, excuse me. Week 9, no. Nothing. Nothing. But I will say this, though. All right, so hear me out. And I know I'm probably going off topic here, but the Cardinals, right? You drafted Kyler Murray 2019. So he's been with this Cardinals 6 seasons, right? Is he ever going to take that step? You know, because you know, he has the talent. I don't know he's playing a tough division, but I'm curious to see. You know, I say there's nothing really this week, but I'm curious to see where the Cardinals are week 9, because this could be a fork in the road moment for Kyler Murray. Because if you know they continue to struggle and finish below 500, this could be a you know. I know he got paid already. This could be a team that could be looking to hit a reset here going to 2026. So I'm curious to see where, and I know we'll talk about this 32 team, 32 days, but I'm just, you know, just initial thoughts that I got right now is, yeah, man, what kind of step do the Cardinals take forward in that tough NFC West? Is you know, is Kyler a guy? I mean, are they gonna be looking to move on at the end of the season?
That's a very good question. Considering like they got Marvin Harrison Jr. last year, and then you got Trey McBride, who I don't know. I'm not sure if he got paid or not, or he's looking to get
Yes.
paid. He did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very well deserved.
Oh
You
yeah.
got your weapon over there. Not exactly not sure who they drafted. But we still have the AFC West, NFC West, and the North from AFC North and NFC North to wrap up too. But we'll deep dive into the Cardinals. But I look at them to be more improved, taking the next step. I'm not sure because with the NFC you got so many guys. You got the Staffords in there. You got Dak and Jalen Hurts. So that's a good question. We'll see if the Cardinals can take that next step, man. Um, but we going into week 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, going into week 10. Starting out. Thursday night, you got the you got the Raiders taking on the visiting the Broncos on Amazon Prime. That's a fitting matchup for a Thursday night, right?
Yeah, man, this is probably one of the ones I'm gonna stay up for all night.
Um, so we got our sweep last year because the Raiders beat us what 7 straight, I
Yeah,
believe.
the whole Trump administration, the first run beat. Yeah, we got y'all that whole run, that 16-20. Yeah, that whole run, y'all got cooked. So I mean, I knew you was gonna bring up the sweep last year. I was waiting for. I know you had that tucked in the cut, but yeah, I mean, y'all ain't, the whole Trump administration, the first run, y'all ain't even see it. So that's why I ain't even want to bring it up. But I knew you was gonna bring up the sweep. I'm gonna let you have it. But all jokes in the corner, though, I expect this to be a good one. Um, we always play Denver decent in Mile High. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, we didn't get our way last year. Gardner Minshew had to throw the pick six to Surtain on the goal line. That kind of like changed the fortunes of that game. But
Don't worry, I'll
yeah,
send it to you later on.
yeah, so don't remind me. And then you send me the one with Brock Bowers. He Moss homeboy for the touchdown and the sideline too. I think it was Riley Moss. Send me that clip too. That was before Gardner Minshew did what he did. Yeah, so if you want to send that one with the one that that's just a good reminder that hey, it went both ways. But I expect us we're gonna be talking trash weekend up, leading up to the game. Bo Nix coming in the week, season two being much improved with a few more weapons. Ashton Jeanty, he had his foot, probably lead candidate for rookie of the year at this point. If he get the ball, like I think he will on Chip Kelly's offense. Geno Smith, I'm interested to see his development and growth in Chip's offense, and just the rookies. And I'm speaking personally for my team, just the rookies that we drafted in year two players: Jackson Powers Johnson, DJ Glaze, DeCamerion Richardson. I want to see them take next steps of being pros. So we all know Pete Carroll is going to let everybody compete, whether you're a first round quarterback or fifth round quarterback. Everybody has a fair share. I expect this team to be a little more tough than this year. Definitely get the Broncos a run for their money, but I'm gonna go ahead and give us the W. I know we ain't made it that far yet in predictions, but I'm gonna go ahead and give us the W in Denver this year. But I'm gonna let you go down the rest of the week 10. We know I had to get it off my chest because if I ain't get it off my chest, then I'm getting it off.
Oh, moving on. So they back in the international series at 9:30 going on
Oh, okay,
Sunday
they are back. Okay, I thought they were
in
done.
Berlin. But I guess that's Germany, right? Berlin, Germany.
Yeah,
I
yes,
believe
yes, yes.
it's Germany. So they get the Falcons and the Colts. Another game that you probably can go to brunch, as you say, and just kind of like check up on it. But after that, you got the Ravens and the Vikings that won. You got Patriots, Buccaneers. You got Jaguars, Texans facing off for the second time. Browns, Jets, Saints, Panthers, Giants, Bears, Bills, Dolphins. It's not really looking too sexy, man. Um, and in the 405 slot, you got the Cardinals and the Seahawks. 425, you got the Rams and the 49ers, division rival. And then you got the Lions and the Commanders, who that's a rematch from the divisional round from last year. So it should be pretty spicy. Sunday night football, you got the Steelers and the Chargers. And then you got Monday Night Football with the Eagles and the Packers, which should be a pretty good one. Teams on bye week are the Bengals, the Cowboys, the Chiefs, and the Titans.
Yeah, man. Week 10, Raiders Broncos. Circle that one. Um, Bills Dolphins. I'm circling that one as well. Bills going to Miami. Um, see where Miami stands as a team. Are they, making a playoff push, or are they looking for a new coach by this time? Looking for a new quarterback by this time? Jaguars Texans. I think this is game two. I'm looking to see has the Texans took a stranglehold on this division, which I
Mom got a little frozen up there. We'll
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you back.
Yeah, I said Lions Commanders, a rematch of the divisional from last year. So definitely looking forward to that one. And then Eagles Packers. That's gonna be a banger on Monday. Was it Monday night? 8:15. Yep. So there's three games on week 10 that I'm definitely interested in looking at for sure. Yeah, man, this will team probably be after the trade deadline. Some moves gonna be made to playoff runs. So we'll see who's contenders and pretenders by this time. So week 10 should be, week 10 and on should be okay. It's go time. Let's make a playoff push and see what team reign dominant.
That's when the teams really find out about themselves. Andre Leisha says, "We up game one." Larry, you a Bronco fan, right? That's right, I am, and we will see y'all week 1. Good luck to Cam Ward out there. So
I get
we'll
wicked out
go
there. I'm trying it might get wicked for him out there.
very, very wicked, might I say. Week 11, you got starting off Thursday night football. You got the Jets and the Patriots. Typical.
Yeah, I'm going to sleep.
And then you got another 9:30 game. You got the Commanders and Dolphins. Should be interesting. That one is in Madrid, Spain.
Yeah, that's a Spain. Yeah, my uncle was hollering about that. He said, my boys going overseas there. I said, where they going? I don't know, but they going somewhere. I'm
like, at 1:00, you got the Chargers and the Jaguars. So pretty spicy one right there. Buccaneers and Bills. I believe those two teams played not too long ago, and it was a pretty close matchup. You got the Bears, Vikings, Packers, Giants, Titans hosting the Texans, Panthers and the Falcons, Bengals and the Steelers. Those are your 1:00 games. And the 4:25, 4:05, you got 49ers and the Cardinals, Seahawks and the Rams. 4:25, and the Chiefs and the Broncos.
Game of the week.
A big circle on that one. Also at 4:25, you got Ravens and Browns. And the Sunday night football slot, you got the Lions and the Eagles, which would be very, very spicy. And then Monday night football, you got the Cowboys and the Raiders.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, okay. Week 11 looking a little spicy here. Cowboys, Raiders, of course. Chiefs, Broncos, of course. That's gonna be a banger. Because if you know anything, if anybody watched it, that game last year, the Chiefs got lucky and won to block the field goal and won a game. So whatever.
Very heartbreaking.
Of course it is.
You know what? I looked at the TV for about 20 minutes.
Oh, I know you
man.
The TV. I know you was cross-eyed. It's cool. Well, I would be hurt too to lose like that off a blocked field goal, and there was a chippy too. Yeah, I'd be tight. But but yeah, man, only 2 games for me. Cowboys, Raiders. That's last time we played the Cowboys. They had maybe time before last. We beat them in Dallas on Thanksgiving. Shout out to my boy George. I know he was tight about that game. And then we played them 2017 with the famous index card, and that still pissed me off to this day. But yeah, man, Cowboys, Raiders, Chiefs, Broncos. Those are the only 2 games that catch my attention. Bengals, Steelers, of course. That's always AFC North. You always gonna get a bang out of those 2 teams. Yeah, man. Then that's all I see for week 11 that catch my eye. Those 3 games right there. What about you, boss?
In that 4:00 slot, that 49ers and Cardinals, they always seem to play each other pretty well. And a pretty physical matchup as well. That Ravens and Browns matchup should be interesting. And Chargers and Jaguars. That's another one. Chiefs, Broncos. We got that one circled.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Sunday night football matchup should be very interesting too. Even though I feel like the Eagles are just going to I'm not going to say bully them, but it's just something about Philly this year, man. I know they haven't touched the ground yet, but it's just something about them. But other than that, and then Monday Night Football, y'all got a chance to steal one in Vegas against the Cowboys.
Yeah, man. So yeah, that's week 12 in a nutshell. I mean, week 11. Sorry, in a nutshell, some good games.
Week 12, you got Bills and Texans. That should be pretty good one starting off on Thursday night. And then Sunday, you got the Vikings, Packers. You got Colts, Chiefs, Patriots and Bengals, Steelers and the Bears, Jets and the Ravens, Giants and the Lions, Seahawks and Titans. And in 405, you got Jags and Cardinals, Browns and the Raiders. At 425, you got Eagles and the Cowboys, which probably be the game of the week. And then you got Falcons and Saints at 425. On Sunday Night Football, you got Buccaneers and the Rams, which should be a pretty good one. And then you got Panthers and the 49ers on Monday Night Football with
Yeah, yeah,
14.
man. Whoo, boy, week 12, boy. Looking kind of weak. Looking kind of weak. By that time, I say Eagles, Cowboys. They should be fighting for playoff spots. Um, Low key, that I'm being funny when I say this. I'm sorry, Saints fan, but that Falcons Saints game, they could be already in the Arch Manning sweepstakes by that point. Uh, so yeah, that's if you're a Saints fan, I apologize, but that's they're in the Arch Manning sweepstakes. So whoever the top quarterback, Tyler Short was the wrong answer by this time. Um, but yeah, man, man. Week 12 looking real iffy. Is anybody on bye weeks this week?
You got 4 teams on bye week. You got Denver, the Chargers, the Dolphins, and the Commanders.
Yeah, all playoff teams on bye week that week. So yeah, it's kind of looking. Yeah, week 12 looking kind of weak. Nothing catches my eye. Of course, I'll be looking at the Raiders, Browns, for sure, for just personal reasons. But that Jets Ravens to get a little sneaky too. Um, because of how Justin Fields, as he should be sold as a starter going into 2026 if they are 500 or more by this time. They might have their answer at quarterback, But
I definitely want to see Justin Fields throwing the ball a lot more this year, not just running around all the time. At least make it look interesting. But that has a quality score, a low scoring game, probably like
13-10.
you hit it right there. That's got that written all over it. You done with week 12? I'm done with week
Yeah,
12.
yeah, I'm done with week 12, brother.
Couple more weeks to go, man. We got week 13. Start
This
this
Thanksgiving week.
Thanksgiving week.
Yep, Thanksgiving week.
Yes, sir. It's time to eat. Packers and Lions kicking off at 1:00. It seems like this always that matchup. At the 4:30 slot, you got Chiefs and the Cowboys. I like what they did here. Made it a little more interesting. They could have went Giants and Cowboys.
Nah, I mean they could have went. No, I thought, bro. Yeah, Chiefs. Chiefs. Cowboys.
Who wants to see that again?
Yeah,
Yeah,
man. Chiefs. Chiefs.
Chiefs,
Chiefs is a good opponent.
Chiefs and the Cowboys at 4:30 and 8:20. You got Bengals and Ravens. I like that division rival. You know, Burrow going against Jackson. Thanksgiving Day. What more fitting? And then on Black Friday, you got Bears and the Eagles.
Yeah, man, that Black Friday game crazy because we had the Black Friday game last year, and I'm gonna tell you, man, they're gonna be heavily advertising the Black Friday game because I almost forgot we played, until that morning. I was like, oh shit, we played Black Friday. Last year was the first Black Friday game, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. It might have been year before. Year before last.
Yeah.
No. I remember last year I had a beef with Black Friday because how we the Raiders we the black jersey team, but we going to roll to Kansas City. Black Friday. If we got a Black Friday game, we should be at home. That makes too much sense. But that was my little beef about Black Friday. So yeah, I know it's a game every year now. That's my little reminder. Yeah, man, that's gonna be Ben Johnson offense. Caleb should take off, so that's gonna be an interesting one for sure. At 3 o'clock
And y'all had y'all played the Chiefs last year, Black Friday, right?
in Kansas City.
In Kansas City. So the first Black Friday game was the Jets and the Dolphins. I remember
Yes.
that because
Yep.
Longwood had a game and I was there filming and doing some stuff there.
Understood.
Then the Chiefs and the Raiders last year. Now this is the first Black Friday game that is not a division game. So it should be an interesting one there. Coming at 3 o'clock.
And it's NFC too, because the last two been AFC teams. So
Yeah, exactly. Coming at 1 o'clock on Sunday, you got Jaguars, Titans, Jets, and Jets hosting the Falcons. You got the Rams and the Panthers, Saints and the Dolphins, Cardinals and the Buccaneers, 49ers and the Browns, Texans, Colts. You got Vikings and the Seahawks at 4:05. And was where am I at?
425 Bills Steelers.
Yeah, cool. So I said Vikings Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. So then Bills Steelers at 4:25, Raiders and Chargers at 4:25, and then Sunday Night Football you got Broncos going all the way over to DC to take on the Commanders. Hope I'm there. And then you got Monday night Giants and the Patriots, a rematch of the two Super Bowls from way back then.
2011 and what? 2007,
2007.
2007 and 2011.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, man. I mean, this week, decent. Bills, Steelers. That's gonna be a good one. Is Aaron, like we said earlier, is Aaron Rodgers your quarterback? Is he playing at a high level? Are the Steelers in contention for the AFC North? Raiders, Chargers, divisional matchup is always gonna be interesting to watch. Broncos, Commanders. If you're going, good luck. Buckle up, bundle up. It's be cold there.
Oh man.
Nothing else really catches my eye. No, nothing. Nope, nothing. Just those late games: Raiders, Chargers, Bills, Steelers, Commanders, Broncos. Those are the only three games that catches my eye. Week week 13.
Yeah.
Yep, those late games.
Sam Darnold facing his former team.
Mm,
Seahawks Vikings at 4:05.
yeah, I forgot all about the Seahawks.
We'll
I
see
keep,
how Sam Darnold looks.
yeah, I keep on forgetting, man, that Sam is in Seattle now because they drafted Miro, and all I see is Miro on Twitter. Like, damn, I forgot Darnold's their starter. So
Milrow could start.
he could. If I'm telling you one thing, if Miro's starting right here, right now, just November 30th, then why you shouldn't even trade Geno? Should just gave Geno the bag. But that's another conversation for another 32 teams, 32 days. We'll
Yes,
push that
sir.
content down the road, y'all. Stay tuned. Stay locked in.
32 teams in 32 days. We'll be back this summer. You ready to go to 14?
Yeah, home stretch.
All right. Cowboys taking on the Lions. Thursday night football. Great spot for it. I love it. Then on Sunday, you got Steelers and the Ravens. First time they'll be facing all. Seahawks, Falcons,
The first time
Titans.
they mentioned all?
Yeah.
Wow. That's late into the season.
Yeah, it's late. So I'm I'm almost guessing they're playing like the last game of the season, probably. But Seahawks, Falcons, Titans, Browns. You got the Dolphins and the Jets, Saints and the Buccaneers. So a lot of division matchups here. Colts, Jaguars, Bears and the Packers, Commanders and the Vikings. At 4:25, at 4:05, you got Broncos and Raiders. So you circle that one too. At 425, Bengals, Bills, Rams, and the Cardinals. At 820, we got the Texans taking on the Chiefs, so that's a rematch of the divisional round from last year. And then on Monday night, you got the Eagles and the Chargers, which I think is going to be a heavily run game right there.
That's a heavyweight matchup Monday night right there. Woo, that's a heavyweight
Yes, it
matchup.
is.
Man. Then you got CJ Stroud. Make sure you got extra thermal on underneath you. Your gloves, have some hand warmers on because it's gonna be probably minus whatever in Kansas City, December 7th at night too. Yeah, you could be seeing your own, bro. You could be seeing your own, bro. Broncos, Raiders, whatever. We're gonna dog walk the Broncos. They gotta come to the hole too. Yeah, it's a wrap. Steelers, Ravens. Somebody might get to fight in that game. It could be too cold. Um, Probably slush on the ground. Jersey gonna be all green and stuff. Yeah, it's gonna be ready, be ready to fight. Yeah, Facebook gonna be popping. Flock Nation.
Somebody getting dragged.
Somebody getting dragged. Somebody will come out of the game with a broken collarbone or something. Packers, Bears, buckle up. Because you're gonna have snot sickles coming from your nose. You're going to Packers in December. Probably be snowing. Minus 20 out that bad boy. You know what's coming. Commanders, Vikings. Yeah, that's okay. Colts, Jaguars, okay. Seahawks, Falcons, whatever. Browns, Titans. They could be the. This could be a game for the our top 5 pick in next April's draft. And Cowboys, Lions to start off the week. I think that's a good matchup to start off the first week of December, week 14. So yeah, man, it's a couple decent games this week. Eagles, Chargers, Texans, Chiefs, Bills, Bengals, Raiders, Broncos, Steelers, Ravens. Um, Lions, Cowboys. So that's a out of what 12 games maybe. That's a about 5 6 of them worth kicking your feet up and watching, man. So yeah, week 14 is pretty promising.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Imagine how those records gonna be looking then. You probably have a lot of teams in playoff contention. So
Wicked.
week 15, starting off with the Falcons and the Buccaneers. And then on Sunday, December 14th, you got Commanders at Giants, Raiders at Eagles,
W.
Browns. You got Browns at Bears, Ravens at the Bengals, Cardinals at the Texans, Bills at the Patriots, and the Jets at the Jaguars, Chargers at the Chiefs, and at the 425 slot, you got the Packers and the Broncos.
Mm,
Um,
mm.
I remember the last time we faced the Packers, Jordan Love was in. They were trying to last drive for the Packers, and he throws the ball up. PJ Locke intercepted it. We win the game. Jordan Love's probably looking for revenge in this one right here. You also got the Colts, Seahawks, Titans, and the 49ers, Panthers, and the Saints, Lions, and the Rams. So that's probably going to be your game of the week right there. And 820, you got the Vikings and the Cowboys, and then Dolphins and Steelers on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, I'm looking at week 15. Once again, Falcons got a prime time game. Like, I don't know. They got to have some on the schedule makers to be getting 5 prime time games. I'm going to say this repeatedly. They got some on somebody in Manhattan. Somebody. Raiders, Eagles, that's a W. That's a W for the Raiders. Blow them out. Gonna dog them out. Ravens and Bengals. That's always gonna be a good one. That's probably come down to the division, um, or a lead or a tie or something like that. It's gonna be for the division. Chargers, Chiefs. So it's gonna be a tight one. Um, Commanders, Giants. Whatever. Panthers, Saints. They probably got the number 1 pick locked up by then, so they probably playing backup. Already on Cancun. They're already on vacation. Uh, Saints fans, I'm just being real. Y'all can probably say the same thing. It's cool. Comment. Let me know what you think. Dolphins, Steelers. Boy, I'm gonna tell you right now, Pittsburgh on a Monday night, middle of December, Santa Claus coming.
Mm.
Like I said, Snot Sickles on the way. You know, it'll be
Cold.
that bad boy. Oh man,
Ooh.
Cowboys Vikings, Cowboys Vikings Sunday night. It gonna be some jockeying for NFC supremacy. Between the Commanders playing the Giants, Cowboys playing the Vikings, Eagles playing us. Yeah, man. So that could be some tight division races coming down to the very end. So these games are crucial, man. Like yeah, I might make fun about the Saints or whatever, but Saints can play spoiler to a couple of these NFC South teams looking to get in. So yeah, man, I think it's where everything get tight. People know hey, I'm 2 games out. I'm a half a game out. I got a tiebreaker versus this team. Yada yada yada. So yeah, man, I expect every game to be competitive for all the teams that are vying for playoff spots at this time and point in the schedule.
Absolutely, I agree. Um, mm, which game sticks out to me the most in this? Yeah, we'll come back to it.
Yeah,
But
if I had to pick one that stick out to me, um, ooh, that Chiefs Chargers. That Chiefs Chargers game sticks out to me because that could be 1 and 2 in the division. You know what I mean? So this can be a if you win, you take over first place in the division. If you lose, you slide into a wild card spot. So
I mean, how you know Denver ain't gonna be number one?
they very well could be, but they're getting swept by the Raiders this year, and losing to little petty little Giants and Commanders. Y'all might. I mean, y'all might be third place, fourth place. But like I said, if both Knicks take the right step and right leap, sure, y'all could be playing for number 1 or 2. Every team regresses every year. They're never good as the last year that they had. So you might be right though, but yeah, man, it's probably looking like it's gonna be the Raiders and Chiefs battling for 1 and 2 in the AFC West come week 15. So
Man, on the week 16, on the week 16, we got starting on Thursday night football. You got the Rams and the Seahawks. That man, Amazon Prime love those NFC West teams on it.
well,
On the Saturday, you got Saturday football. You got 2 games. No times have been determined yet, but you got the Packers and the Bears, and you got the Eagles and the Commanders, 2 division matchups. Man, it should be pretty spicy right there. I like
yeah,
the choices. And then 1 o'clock on Sunday, you got the Bills, Browns, you got the Chargers, Cowboys, Patriots, Ravens, Jets, Saints, Buccaneers, Panthers, Vikings and the Giants, Chiefs and the Titans. Those are your 1 o'clock games. At 4:05, you got the Jags coming to Denver. You got the Falcons and the Cardinals. Raiders taking on the Texans at 4:25. Steelers and the Lions at 4:25 also. And
mm,
then at 8:20, you got the Bengals and the Dolphins. And on Monday Night Football, you got the 49ers and the Colts. They could not have picked a better matchup on Monday Night Football than the 49ers and the Colts.
yeah. I mean, yo, it could be some flexing going on this week because ain't no way ain't no way you're gonna have the 49ers and Colts playing. No, absolutely. You gonna move that Steelers Lions game, or you gonna move, or you gonna move that Panthers Buccaneers game, or either some getting flexed out because ain't no way you got the Colts out here playing at the last team I see before I close my eyes on the Monday nights. The Colts out here ain't no way, nah, no Sirskis. But yeah, man, like I said, I'm going down week 16. I'm looking at Lions Steelers. That's a good one. Um, let me see. Jets Saints. They number 1 pick. They already scouting. They getting ready for the combine. Eagles and Commanders. That's a good one. That's a Saturday game. Packers Bears. That's a good one.
Chargers and the Cowboys as well.
Chargers and Cowboys as well. Yup. Packers Bears. Jordan Love gonna get your the thermal and your Kansas soup ready because it's gonna be cold in Chicago.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, man, that Cowboys Chargers game. That's the one that jumped out off the screen to me. Um, week 16, I want to say. Yes, sir.
Going on to week 17, you got on Thursday was a Christmas Day. So 1 o'clock, you got the Cowboys and Commanders. At 4:30, Lions and the Vikings. And at 8:15, you get the Broncos traveling to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs on Christmas
Mm,
Day.
mm.
What a Christmas present. What a Christmas present. Uh, Moving on to Sunday, you got the Buccaneers and the Dolphins, Patriots, Jets, Texans, Chargers. That's crazy. You got those two facing off in this week. And in that particular week, considering like the playoff history that they just had. Giants and the Raiders.
Mm.
You got
Say,
the you got the Steelers and the Browns. Didn't those two teams play last year?
who was it? Giants and Raiders?
Yeah.
Nah,
Okay. I
nah.
just
Because
found.
if we did and we lost to them, I don't remember. You know, we're getting old now. If we did and we lost them, we definitely be picking higher than 6 than we picked this year for sure. I promise you that. I promise you that. Anywhere in the world, man, losing to Daniel Jones, man. Ain't no way, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Don't do me like that. That's crazy. That's nasty what you just did right there too. But I'm gonna let you slide.
I was just asking, brother.
Yeah. I feel you. That's nasty.
You got the Steelers and the Browns. You got the Cardinals and the Bengals. The Saints and the Titans. Ravens and the Packers should be a very juicy one. The
Mm-hmm.
Jaguars and the Colts. Seahawks and the Panthers. And at the 4 o'clock slot, you only got one 4 o'clock game, which is the Eagles and the Bills, which they made sure to put a very high profile matchup in that spot right there. I like
Yeah,
what they did.
that's probably Jim Nance and Tony Romo again.
Oh yeah, you know it. Is it? No, that's on Fox.
We're on
So
Fox. Tom Brady and Joe Buck.
Brady gonna be in the cold, man.
Yeah, he used to.
Uh, and then you got Sunday night football. You got Bears and the 49ers, and on Monday night football, you got the Rams and the Falcons.
Oh, it's crazy how many primetime games they got. That's nuts. But yeah, man, week 17, Cowboys Commanders, Christmas Day. That's a good one. You can't go wrong. Cowboys Commanders, Christmas Day. Everybody in the holiday spirit. Everybody, open up their Redskin sweater, Redskin blanket that they got for Christmas. And you get to bundle up and you get to watch the Redskins, excuse me, the Commanders and Cowboys ball out at 1 o'clock. Then you got the Broncos and Chiefs Christmas Day. That's gonna be a good game. Yeah, I'll give you a pro tip. We're the only team that'll beat the Chiefs on Christmas Day. So if you can try to duplicate that, please be my guest. Y'all don't have a Jack Jones on your team that can do that, or Max Crosby that can terrorize the game on Christmas Day. So good luck to y'all that day at 8:15. Maybe you can do something special like that. Maybe you can't. I don't know. Maybe Sertain, he might be out hurt again. Who knows? But Bo Nix might have turned into a turtle or shit or whatever. So who knows? But good luck to y'all on week, Christmas Day. Yeah, you got to go to Kansas City too. So they're gonna be fired up, ready to go. Lions Vikings. That's always a good divisional matchup. Um, Christmas Day, that's a good spot for that one. Then you got Texans Chargers. Some playoff spots could be sold up by then. Some divisions could be won. So starters could be rested by this point. Giants Raiders. I mean, whatever. That's my mom, but we could be looking at 8-9, 8-7, 9-8. It can go both ways. Packers Ravens. Could this game? I'm tapping my phone on this game right here because this game could be seed clinchers. You know, a Ravens can lock up a 2 seed or a 1 seed. Green Bay can get the, you know, division wrapped up. You know, by this time they could be looking at a 1 or 2 seed as well. Depends on how the rest of the NFC shake out. Um, yeah, man. Eagles, Bills, of course. You know, they probably December 28th. They probably can play their starters. Rams, Falcons, whatever. But yeah, man, just those Christmas Day games is the ones I'm looking forward to, and the Eagles and Bills is everybody gonna be, watching that game, national televised. Tom Brady, Joe Buck giving that expertise. Yeah, so week 8, week 17 has some good matchups for it to be so late in the season. Christmas Day is
Yeah,
man. Christmas Day is great.
yeah. Imagine, uh, uh, imagine a Cowboys and Commanders fan over there, the relative's house on Christmas Day, and they got
Yeah,
the alcohol involved.
arguing, fighting, echoing in the house. Get out, everybody, get out. Yeah, yeah, man. That's some yeah, yeah.
It's
Kids
gonna be
Christmas.
it's gonna be crazy.
Kids Christmas room where they were now arguing all the game and stuff. Done broke the new TV. You done got some out for Christmas because Dak them threw a pick late in the game to Lattimore, and yeah, man, it can get messy. It can get ugly, bro. But it's good entertainment value for sure.
The bought grandma the new TV and tore it up in the same day.
Hold up, where the receipt at?
The last week, week 18, you got 1 o'clock games. You got the Chargers, the Broncos, and that could be um, that could be a seeding determined matchup right there. It also could be how they got the flex the late Sunday night game on that one. They don't have a Sunday night game determined right now. I'm gonna give you my prediction. No, I can't give you my prediction because that wouldn't even become true. I was I was gonna say the Falcons gonna be the Falcons gonna be that game where they gonna flex on Sunday night
I tell you
football.
one thing: if they flex the Falcons in for another prime time game, they better be 10-7, won the division, and resting they start off the playoffs. I swear.
But they play the Saints, so I think we're clear from that. We're saved from that.
Yeah, then the Saints have been everybody probably declared for the draft who's declared. They probably called Arch Manning and told him, "Yo, you come out, we picking you." By that point. Anyway, so
So you got Chargers, Broncos, you got Packers, Vikings, Dolphins, Patriots, Titans, Jaguars, uh, Panthers and the Buccaneers, Cardinals, Rams, Lions, and the Bears. Also, all these ones at 1 o'clock. Oh, well. You got Colts, Texans, Commanders, and Eagles could be a good one. Cowboys, Giants, Browns, Bengals, Saints, Falcons, Ravens, and the Steelers, Jets and the Bills, Chiefs and the Raiders, Seahawks and the 49ers. Which game in your prediction right now would you say would be the game that'll be flexed on Sunday Night Football?
woo. I don't know, man. I'm looking at 3 right now. I'm looking at it's 4. Excuse me. Chargers, Broncos, Packers, Vikings, Commanders, Eagles, Ravens, Steelers. I'm looking at. I think that Chargers Broncos game, man, might be the one to get flexed to Sunday night, man. I'm leaning to Chargers. I'm leaning Chargers Broncos, bro. That could be for like a wild card spot.
Uh,
Let's be
man.
giving y'all credit, bro. I mean, okay. I'm gonna change it then because you up there looking iffy. I'm gonna say, see, you ain't see nothing, man. You ain't even convinced yourself.
I mean, I agree. I agree to an extent. I mean, I ain't like the wild card. I would have liked to at least like either 1 or 2 seeding. But
Yeah, us too. Yeah, us too. You know what I'm saying? We could have been, number 1 seed overall. Yeah, I feel you though. But on a serious tip though, yeah, man, I can see that Broncos Chargers. being flexed in. It could be something like the Raiders Chargers a couple years ago, where if you win, you get in. Like, we played the Chargers a few years
Yeah,
ago. And
yeah.
if we won, we got in. But if we had a tie, both of us would have got in. Would kick the Steelers out. So I can see that being a scenario. So yeah, my pick right now is the Chargers and Broncos being flexed in.
My pick right now I got two. So my first one would be either the Lions and the Bears
Mm,
or the Commanders and the Eagles.
you
Because
got
they both could be in a position where they're vying for that top spot.
yeah, you got
I just see both of those teams sitting up there like that.
yeah, you got a lot of faith in the Bears, bro. More than I do. More than I do.
I don't know. I got faith that Ben Johnson can turn that thing around.
Yeah, but you already know how I feel about Ben Johnson. We've already discussed this 100,000 times. But I mean, I ain't mad at it. I mean, Ben Johnson could make me a liar. Week 18 and could be fighting for a wild card spot. I could be wrong, but whatever. Yeah, man. Week 18, all divisional games. The Saints can go ahead and pack it up. They probably, head south to Cancun right after the game. Rams, Cardinals. Like I said, people's fate are going to be already written in stone. We're going to know if Kyler's the guy. Um, we know the Rams could probably be in the playoffs, in the playoff picture. Uh, Lions could be fighting for a wild card spot. Bears could be fighting for a wild card spot. Yeah, man, it's week. The last week of the season is really it's the Jets picking in the top five next year. If so, then hey, they're in the market for a quarterback. Justin Fields' experiment was a failure. Tua playing in New England, buckle up, Tua, bundle up. It's Mike. Is it any coaches fired by then? Has anybody created a search committee for a new coach going to 2026? So yeah, man, there's a whole lot that could unpack here and unfold here between week 16 and week 18, in my opinion.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, anybody jump in the comments, man, see what you guys think. What matchup are you looking forward to the most out of all these weeks, or just week 18 in general? Um, I think we wrapped it up, man. We there.
Yeah, man, I think we wrapped it up. We went over each week extensively, game by game, gave our thoughts, gave our feelings. Of course, you always want your home team to do good. Um, I'm looking at, I'm gonna talk about the Raiders here for a little bit. I'm looking at us maybe 8, 9 wins. I think that'll be a solid first campaign for Pete Carroll and Gino together. I think 8, 9 wins is realistic for us. The low 8, high 10. Sneaking wild card is a wild card for a reason. Things could be shake your way, and you could be getting in, and you know I can see that happening for us, or I can see us just being mediocre and building this thing up from Pete. That's like he did with the Legion of Boom. You stayed 500 until he finally found that guy and took him over the top. So I can definitely see us having um, a 500 or better season. Genty being Offensive Rookie of the Year, competing in the division, getting a little tougher. Bo Nix taking a step further. Mahomes being Mahomes. Herbert another year on the hardball, getting better. Offensive line getting better, younger. Joe Alt taking that next step. Rashawn Slater, all those guys over there. Marion Hampton, Trey Harris, Quentin Johnston or whatever. Yeah, Quentin Johnston. Another year, Lad McConkey in the slot. I mean, they got weapons over there.
Yeah.
They definitely got weapons. So yeah, man, the West is gonna be tough. Mahomes gonna be Mahomes. Could this be Kelsey's last season? That's one big thing that's looming over Chiefs Kingdom right now. This is it for Kelsey. Is this the last time that Kelsey, Mahomes, and Reed are gonna be on the sideline together for one more season? Chris Jones, he getting them there. How long he want to play? Start ushering in the new regime of Kansas City Chiefs. led by McHome, Trent McDuffie, George Karlaftis, the young guns. Yeah, man, I'm excited about the league, the season in general. I'm definitely excited about our division for sure because we always play each other tough. Broncos Raiders always gonna be hate there, even though y'all got Walmart money. Man, I look see $77 billion, bro. That's how much the y'all got Walmart money. That's all I'm gonna say. Y'all can buy every team in the league if y'all wanted to, but it don't. It's not going to equate to wins on the field though. So, but yeah, man, I'm gonna let you talk about the Broncos a little bit and what you expect. What you expect out of both Knicks and Sean Payton in season 2 of them together.
The second year, Bo Nix and Sean Payton, I expect a lot of growth. I do expect a lot of growth out of Bo Nix. By him being a rookie, you're going to make mistakes. So there were definitely some boneheaded mistakes, bonehead throws that he did make. But it comes with being a rookie, and I hope just with him being in that system, learning that system with Sean Payton, just being under him, learning everything from him, he can be a lot better. And hopefully this can be a great second year for him. I'm calling it right now. The Broncos are going to be in the AFC Championship game.
What? Okay. Hey, listen, bro. Listen. Hey, listen, man.
You said I was going off the rails when I said that the Knicks were going to the Eastern Conference Finals. And we haven't completed that yet. But we are
Tomorrow,
almost.
y'all play again. So
Let's just hope.
yeah.
But I think that the Broncos are going to go to the AFC Championship game. Now, will we win it? That remains to be seen.
Hey, bro, you know what I always wanted to see though? I want to see like a AFC championship with like two division rivals. Like y'all get split up in the bracket and then y'all meet in the AFC championship. There will be some stuff, right? Like let's say y'all meet the
Like the Eagles and the Commanders.
yeah, like that, but only on the AFC side, like Broncos and Chiefs or Chargers, Chiefs, or something like that. I mean, it don't really. Yeah, the Commanders and Chiefs, but it don't hit the same as the AFC. Like you got it. No disrespect to the NFC. They will say this for another day, but y'all ain't got none on the AFC. Like it's different levels of football in AFC. Don't because we got all the Superman over here: Lamar, Burrow, Herbert, Mahomes,
Stroud.
Homeboy in Jacksonville, uh, Geno to an extent. I mean, he ain't the end all be all, but he middle. It's just I don't know. It's just something about the AFC just always superior than the NFC in my opinion, man. But yeah, man, if you want the Broncos to be in the AFC Championship, who am I to say hey?
Also, don't let Justin Fields get off to a hot start and become a better quarterback this year too. Because the possibilities of what you got over there. You already got a weapon in Gary Wilson, and
Yeah, yeah, he got Garrett Wilson. He got Sauce Gardner on defense, which you swear by, but I don't see it.
Sauce Gardner. If Sauce Gardner is improved this year, he will be the next highest paid cornerback in the league. Pound the table. I'm stumping. You got anything else? Any final thoughts?
Nah, because you buddy may be mad about this Sauce Gardner thing. You already know how I feel about Sauce Gardner, man. But nah, man, I don't have any more thoughts. No more comments. We're gonna, thanks to everybody for tuning in when they did. Comment, share. Let us know what you think. If we were wrong about some of our weak matchups, what we think, let us know, man. We take feedback. Nothing personal. We enjoy interacting and engaging with everybody. And yeah, man, we got some more division drafts to revisit here in the next couple of days. So I think we're gonna go with we did NFC East last time, right?
Yeah, we got north, south, and east, west left. No,
Okay.
No, we got both West and the North left.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna start with the AFC North next.
Yeah.
Start with the AFC North, and then we'll go NFC North. That's to give you guys. We're just gonna go each North, South, East. But we're gonna just knock them out. And yeah, we're gonna dig into these drafts. And I know it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks after the draft, but give our take on them. And after we're done with that, we're gonna probably get into some 32 teams or some roster transactions, mini camps, or whatever the case may be. But definitely look out for some more free agent signings here, late into camp or whatever the case may be, and definitely more content is on the way for sure.
The post June 1st cuts on the way. So
Dang, it's almost what's this? What next week? Post June 1 is coming up quick, bro. Oh my lord.
it's already May 15th.
Yeah,
So
so it's spooky, it's spooky.
for Amon Washington, Larry Patterson, Game Time Sports Network. Until then, everybody, thank you for tuning in. And